Hey y'all, let's talk about infant and toddler sleep problems. This is a super common problem that we discuss in the office all of the time. What I'm about to say certainly doesn't apply for kids with special needs, neurologic needs, heart needs, whatever, some sort of tube feeding or, really significant health issues, nor would it apply to kids that are actively sick with flu or ear infections or even just colds, anything where they're going to be, having some fever and not feeling well and needing, appropriate comfort from their parents. But this is just for the normal old kid that just sleep is just a daily issue, something that happens every time you put them down. This happens, and most parents will, they have a normal routine that they go through. First, I would say make sure you put your child down awake, sleepy but awake. You don't want to put a child in the bed. I'm thinking mainly about infants here, older than about, all of what I'm about to say really applies to kids older than about 6 months of age. You don't want to put them, you don't want them to fall asleep in your arms and then try to ease them into the bed. You want them to be sleepy but awake when you put them in the bed. And then you have to remember that your kids are human beings that need sleep. So there's no possible way that they can just stay up forever. They will fall asleep eventually, so keep that in the back of your mind. And also remember that pretty much every behavior a child does is a learned behavior. Now, parents get sucked in with the sleep because they feel like they're neglecting their child and they're affecting their attachment, which I'm really big on attachment. I think attachment's really important. But I don't think that this is a situation where attachment is such a factor. The thinking about attachment actually clouds parents' decision making when it comes to this. So back to the fact that it is a learned behavior. The kids know, the babies know that if they cry, they will be picked up. They know that in the past they have cried and they've gotten picked up. So the statement, if it works, it happens again, applies here. It worked. They cried, they got picked up, and they like that. So they're going to do that next time as well. Same thing goes for an older kid, or a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old that keeps getting out of the bed. You put them in the bed and they keep getting out. That's a learned behavior. It's worked for them. They've gotten away with it. Your rules have allowed that to happen. So all of this is a learned behavior. And unfortunately, there's no easy way to break this cycle, whether it's a 6-month-old or a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old or a 4-year-old. It's all still a learned behavior. And so there's no possible way to teach them a new behavior, which would be staying in the bed on their own and sleeping all night in their own bed and putting themselves back to sleep when they wake up during the middle of the night, which everybody inevitably does. There's no easy way to do that without them being upset about it. Okay, they're not going to go down without a fight because normal to them is I wake up, parents come in, they console me, they put me back to sleep. I need them is what they're thinking. I need them to do that. So the longer you do that, the more deeply entrenched the behavior becomes. So getting a 6-month-old to sleep through the night is a whole lot easier than getting a 2 or a 3-year-old to sleep through the night because a 2 or a 3-year-old's been doing that for 2 or 3 years. And so they really, the normal to them is really going to be hard to break. But it can still be broken, but it just isn't very easy because the kids are not going to go down without a fight. So unfortunately, letting them cry it out is the real in a nutshell, that's the answer. Long story short, kind of a thing. Some people have you let them cry for 5 minutes, and you let them cry for 10 minutes, and you go in and you let them cry for 15 minutes, and then you end up letting them cry it out after 3 or 4 interventions like that. I guess that's fine. I really think that just treats the parents' anxiety that they feel like they're doing something. To me, it delays the inevitable, which is they're going to have to cry themselves to sleep. Crying themselves to sleep is not going to hurt them. It is not going to hurt their attachment. Attachment is built up of hundreds of thousands, if not millions of interactions where you are there for them, where you're trustworthy, you show up for them, you care for them. And generally, my experience, and it's been borne out almost across the board, if you do what I'm telling you to do for 3 nights in a row, just let them cry it out. The 4th night, they will be broken like a horse in an old Western movie where they just kind of say, forget it. I'm not going to, it's not working. I'm just going to go on to sleep. So that's what I encourage parents to do. I've had incredible success with parents sleeping through the night, and the kids sleeping through the night, and family harmony being restored because everybody's getting a good night's sleep. So it's not easy. I always tell parents it's simple, but it's not easy. It's backing out of the situation, turning the situation over to the kids themselves to put themselves to sleep, and to get themselves back to sleep. And backing out and say, I can't help you. The more help you give, the worse the problem gets. So that really is the bottom line. You cannot fix the problem. So back out, let the kids deal with it on their own. Give them 3 nights of crying as long as it takes. And they will wake up in the morning, they'll be happy and smiling and be glad to see you. And after 3 nights, they'll be sleeping 12 hours a night usually, and not struggling anymore, and everybody will be happy. So hopefully that helps you. That's what I would advise if I was here in the clinic, and hopefully it helps you guys. If you're liking what I'm producing and putting out there, please subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all next time.